Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha'arakah, Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm just going to do a quick follow-up to this video that I was doing. My camera cut out, so I wasn't able to, the whole video basically was lost. But I just want to harp on one main point, because basically this Operation Yellowhammer is basically a contingency plan for when the Brexit comes into play. Now, if you've been following what's going on in the news, you had Boris Johnson basically went to the Queen and the Queen basically gave him a go-ahead for a no-deal, basically for what I believe is a government shutdown, or like Parliament basically being shut down or postponed, should I say, as they said, so that no bills of law could be passed through Parliament. Okay, and this was done so that they can just leave the EU with a no deal, which really and truly I don't see. In my humble opinion, I don't see that the EU is gonna give them a good deal, Britain, so that they can leave the EU, because then that'll give an incentive to all the other that'll be an incentive for all the other members of the EU to basically leave that union, the European Union, and just go about their business with this deal basically. So they're saying no deal, which technically, funny enough, the no deal, what Boris Johnson's actually saying, may actually be better in the long run, because then it's like, okay, look, we're leaving without a deal, so this is what we're going to have to get in order. Whereas hanging about and trying to, manifest a deal and going back and forth, it leaves more doubt it leaves more up in airness, unsurety, etc., etc. So technically, what Boris was actually doing was in the best intentions. But anyway, he said it to the Queen. The Queen gave him a go-ahead. Then I believe it went through to the House of Lords, and they wanted, they basically voted that that what he was doing was against like they basically voted against the no deal. So now I forgot. I saw it today. There was another law passed where basically bear with me one moment. There was another law passed where he basically my mind is overload right now. This is it. Boris Johnson could go to jail if he refuses to delay Brexit, says former prosecutions chief. The former director of public prosecutions has told Sky News that Boris Johnson could go to prison if he refuses to delay Brexit in the face of court action. All right. The Prime Minister has said he will not agree an extension despite Parliament passing a law forcing him to do so. Right, and you had his brother also step down, Joe Johnson, I believe his name is. He stepped down from Parliament because he said he was like in contention, but like, between family ties and the good for the government of the country. And also you have his party, the Tories, the Conservatives, or what you would call back in the day the Republic, or what you may know as the Republicans. Basically, they're the right. They're basically they're basically torn in two. They're just, some are with him and some are against him. So basically now he doesn't want to delay the Brexit, and that's what they want to do basically. So going back to the point, these things are still being put out to the air and still hold weight. You know what I mean? Operation Yellowhammer, because it's the fact that they had the plan out there before. All right, going back to 2018, they actually said its existence, and that's the spirit, because I won't even look for that. Its existence was revealed in September 2018 when someone was photographed leaving the cabinet office with a sheaf of papers. So basically, this has been around since last year, a year to today, basically, or this month, a year this month. So it's showing you that these things, they're basically building upon it. They're making the people aware of it and more aware of it, but it's going under the radar because why? Because people are not hip to it. People don't look for it. But the thing with the Illuminati is they move like Yahweh Bar Shem El Shai. Their whole thing is to follow through with what it says in Thessalonians, loosely paraphrasing, that he that um, you know, shows himself as God is God sitting in the heavens, loosely paraphrasing. So basically, the whole point is that what does the Most High Yahweh deal with? Isaiah 55:11 tells you that His word doesn't go out void, and basically that he doesn't do anything without prophecy. So He makes every action that's going to be done known through what? By way of prophecy. So this prophecy that Esau's putting out to the world is basically, the end and a lockdown in society, basically. And it tells you some of the things that they plan to do with Project Yellowhammer. So, bear with me. Okay. Bloody hell. Okay. Okay, so that's trying to find the fine points. Yeah, I'll just read this point quickly. Okay, so what is Operation Yellowhammer? Operation Yellowhammer is a code name for overarching work across government to address the immediate impacts of a no-deal Brexit. It is one part of the government's overall preparations for such a scenario. Operation Yellowhammer covers 12 areas of risk, such as movement of goods and people across borders, UK water, food and water supplies, healthcare and transport. It outlines a possible worst case scenario, which would include delays at the border for the flow of goods lasting up to 6 months, food shortages, price increases for utilities, fuel and food. So increased checks for UK citizens travelling to Europe. In essence, it is intended to manage short-term disruption that may rise from no deal and focuses on the areas that will have the highest impact on the UK citizens. A National Audit Office report says its existence was revealed in September 2018 when someone was photographed. Alright, so that's the point. Now, just to get to the main reason why I did this video, Yellowhammer, alright, is a bird, alright. It's a Passerian bird in the bunting family, alright. So that's neither here nor there though. This is what the bird looks like. That's what it sounds like. Anyway, moving on. So it's heavily dwells in Eurasia. Alright. So within that being said, you could say this is kind of something really for New World Order dominance is key, this whole operation. But anyway, so I'm gonna go to this point. It's on Wikipedia now, so I'm in the in culture subcategory, and the last paragraph it reads: an old legend links the Yellowhammer to the devil. All right, Operation Yellowhammer is what we're dealing with, right? So it's an old legend links the Yellowhammer to the devil. Its tongue was supposed to bear a drop of his blood, and the intricate pattern on the eggs was said to carry a concealed, possibly evil message. Now that's really, I'm going to read on. These said satanic associations sometimes led to the persecution of the bird. So this even made it as to where people basically saw it as an omen, and basically would kill the bird because they saw it as an omen of bad luck, all right, of the devil basically. Sometimes led to the persecution of the bird. The unusual appearance of the eggs also led to scribblelark, an old name for the bird. So that was what was previously called. So this bird was heavily persecuted. Why? Because this is what the legend was, all right, culturally known to the mass of the people that were, it doesn't specify, but to the people that are aware of the bird, this is the culture it carries. An old legend links the Yellowhammer to the devil. His tongue was supposed to bear a drop of his blood. So now it says it's linked to the devil. Now, what the word devil, what does it mean? Deceiver, right? All right. It says his tongue was supposed to bear a drop of his blood. So it had a drop of the blood of the devil on his tongue. That's what the legend says. And what's the devil known for doing? Deceiving. How do you deceive someone? What would you need to do? You need to open your mouth and wag your tongue and speak lies, basically. A true trait of a devil, a deceiver, all right? So, and the intricate pattern on the eggs was said to carry a concealed, possibly evil message. So I'm saying, in this conception, it was, the evil message was put in the egg. So you're talking about, this is a bird in that was basically cultivated through the message of the devil, and it had a drop of his blood. So when it sings or when it speaks is doing the devil's work basically. So that's what this bird is actually related to, all right? And that's why, going back to Operation Yellowhammer, all right? Going back to Operation Yellowhammer, says Operation Yellowhammer is the code name for the overarching work across government to address the immediate impacts of a no-deal Brexit. So we're talking about the impact. This is a operation that's in place in case of a no-deal Brexit, okay? And which have made law now that you can't actually have a no-deal Brexit, but the vibration's been put out there. There's an operation called Yellowhammer, all right? And it's basically something that's meant to be done. Why? Why is it meant to be done? To carry a secret message of the devil. And it basically is a secret message of the devil because it's only for those that are in the know. The Illuminati, all right? Being the major and minor illuminated ones. So, I mean, with that, I pray you're edified. Shalom.